my source was actually going on from when I was really young, because what I started to realize was all the values and, you know, the traditions and just the pressures that were put on me from a very young age, not in a bad way, never blaming on anyone, just the way that we grew up. I just started to realize that I'm kind of like, I was on this kind of, you know, a different wavelength, but I knew I kind of had to conform to kind of fit in. We all kind of can resonate with that universal definition of like success in our community, especially for women, right? Like, what does it mean to be like a respectful, young, successful woman?
You've said something really interesting. It started from a young age. And obviously with the podcast, we do look at culture, and, you know, and I love the fact that you've just said, look, I'm not blaming anyone, because I think we're of the same
Yeah,
thought of, look, our parents, our grandparents have always wanted the best.
yes,
That's been a given. I mean, we've been
100%.
very lucky in that. But it's that cultural aspect. But can you explain in your own words what it is when you were younger that you think started that stress off?
So I think the biggest thing is I did not have time to be curious. I didn't have time to really discover like who I actually was. And I think we felt that from a really young age. Like, I think what's really important to note is that I have sisters. They are a bit older than me. There's like 7 and 9 years age gap between us. So they were essentially like my future forecast, is what I call them all the time. I was like, this is literally going to be my
You just
life.
added pressure to Taj now. Being the older sister, there we are. Go on, carry on, Nav. You're saying something very interesting now.
I must achieve something now so you can follow on, Bal.
Yes.
But then the reverse is we've got to keep that up, right? Because then there's the pressure is, okay, one is smashing it, really conforming, taking all these things. The second one, and then it's like, oh, the third one. Like, and then you're
Taj.
thinking, oh, like you start to feel that pressure and you start to take that on. And it's really interesting. So I think from a very young age, like I was always the one that was doing like all the extracurriculars. Like I was super creative. So I was the one that was doing like kickboxing, singing, a
So your
violin.
sisters hated you then, basically, is what you're telling us.
They were just like, you know, actually my older sister was really good. She was really supportive because I think she did start to see just like how important it was as she was entering into different phases of her life to kind of have these extra things going on, because that is what makes you a bit more like well-rounded, is just seeing all these different things rather than just being so one-dimensional. I think it's really important.
Do you think the first child, because they're almost like the guinea pig, is the one that gets the most pressure? And then when it comes down to, I don't know, second, third, or
They can't be bothered with us, can they, Nav? I mean, it's by the third, it's like, give
Honestly,
up.
I'm just like the leftovers. That's why I always say this is the leftover child. I'm like, that's why I've got all these allergies. I'm like, you just kind of put together what you could, you know, like by the end of it.
To be fair, Nav, I don't have the allergies. You're just using that as an excuse
Oh my God,
now.
no. I need to find my people. So if I'm honest, in my experience, what I found is I do think that the first child does have a lot of pressure. Like my elder sister, I kind of refer to as like my second mom, if I'm honest. And I don't know if that's because of the age gap, but she was really helpful in like guiding me. And she was really pivotal in helping to start to remold that kind of like pressure and that path a little bit as she got older. Then she kind of was like, no, you know, you need to kind of like add a little bit more. You kind of need to experience things, because that's what I was seeing, is that everyone around me, we start to have this universal definition, don't we, of like kind of what we're all striving for. So even from when I was about 4 or 5 years old, you know, people are always asking that question. The one thing that does not bug me, but I think when we have conversations, it's never like starts off with like a how are you, like genuinely how you doing, like what's been going on, how you feeling. It was always just like, okay, it went from what are you going to be when you're older, right? And then as you're progressing, what's the next step?